Let's face it, everybody. Let's face it, most people are having a hard time achieving big goals. And I believe the reason behind this is that not, I believe this is the main reason. I believe that the problem that people have is that the goal that they are hitting is a small goal because they don't know how to make the goal bigger because they're actually aiming at the goal when they ought to be aiming at the thing that produces the goal. In other words, aim higher. I don't think the average person's problem is that they aim high and miss. I think the average person's problem is that they aim below and that they hit. So I want to teach you in today's video how to aim higher than the thing that you're actually trying to hit. And that's that way, the thing that you're trying to hit, it'll be it'll be included in the thing that you actually aim for. All right. And I believe the best way of being able to teach this lesson is by looking at how Solomon became the richest person that ever walked the face of the earth and the wisest man that ever walked the face of the earth. But if you look at what he aimed for, he ended up getting everything that came along with what he aimed for. Are y'all ready? All right, so let's get started. All right. So first of all, I just want to make an announcement real quick, and that's that at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern this morning, every last one of you, you're invited to our infinite banking class. All you have to do is comment the word infinite banking in the chat and come on out, and we'd be glad to have you. It starts at 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. I'm going to teach you all how we got $1 million tax return, show you the check, and I'm going to show you the infinite banking system that wealthy people work by. I'm not going to be talking to you about no life insurance policy. That ain't got nothing to do with infinite banking. I'm going to show you how money goes out, comes back, goes out, comes back, goes out, comes back, goes out, and comes back, and never runs out. I'm going to teach you what infinite, the word infinite means something never stops happening. Infinite means forever. Okay. So in other words, I'm going to show you how you create forever money. It's here while you're alive, it increases during your lifetime. And then when you're dead, it increases during your child's lifetime. And then when they dead, it increases during their child's lifetime. And then when they're dead, it increases during their child's lifetime. That's what infinite banking is. So I'm going to teach the whole concept in a private Zoom, and it's free. Okay. So you can come on over and you can learn what it is that you need to learn. All right. So that starts at 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. If you're interested in coming, just comment the words infinite banking. We'd be glad to have you. It's absolutely free. I got it. Then I would take the link and send it to somebody while you're thinking about them because they don't understand infinite banking too. I guarantee you 99.9% of the world does not understand infinite banking. They think it's a life insurance policy. They country as hell. I'm like, your life insurance policy ain't got zip to do with you making with you having money, your kids having money coming in to their bank account when you did. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing, just a good sounding word, just a good sounding term that got you to pay for an overpriced policy and waste a whole bunch of your money when you should have bought your term policy and only paid what it cost to insure you and took all your extra money and buy and do things like buy Bitcoin, like the stuff we do that gets back 6,000%. And you run around making 6% on your money, even 10%, even 15%. That's ridiculous. Those are small amounts of money. It takes too long for your money to grow. You already ain't got enough money. And then you're going to take the little money you got and trick it off just because somebody gave you a term to sound good. You don't even know the term. You don't even understand the term. And you just G'ing for it because your uncle sold you a policy, somebody sold you a policy. Life insurance policy ain't got nothing to do with no infinite banking. Right here, I mean, it's a complete waste of your time. Right here, what I'm talking about. You ain't got time to waste. We're in these money streets. You got 3-4 generations you're supposed to be accumulating money for. That ain't gonna happen with no UIL policy and no whole life insurance policy. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. All right. So don't be country all your life. Come on over and let me teach you. Okay. Now, I don't care what nobody told you. All right. I don't care what they told you. You do it make most sense to you. Don't get caught up in what somebody told you. They're trying to make commissions and stuff. I don't get down like that. When people come to us and my guy to be selling life insurance, they try to buy the policy from him. Like, talk him out of that stuff. Talk some sense into him. All right. He would make more money if he sold you the policy, but he don't even care. He tell you to do what's in your own best interest so he can make less money so you can make more money. Because that's how relationships are built. Relationships are built when you meet somebody and they don't know no better and they got some little country attitude and they don't know nothing about no money. You tell a person what's in their best interest, even if you make less money because you're going to have a better relationship. It ain't about the little money you make when you meet somebody. It's about the relationship that you have with people. And when you can help people make more money than they were making in their whole life, and now their stuff is set up for their kids and their grandkids and their great grandkids, and everybody got some sense around here, then you got some good relationships. I don't even want to have relationships with folk who do stuff that ain't in their own best interest. I don't even want to. I'm like, man, we ain't gonna get along with each other. That stuff you're doing country as hell. I don't even make sense. Do what makes sense to you. That would make sense to somebody trying to sell you something. I ain't hearing, man, I ain't never trying to sell nobody nothing. I just give real good advice because I'm a multimillionaire. I know a lot about money. Okay. I've been doing this stuff for 40 years. I know a lot about money. And I know game when I hear game. And I'm not going to introduce you to no game. So if you want to learn what infinite banking really is, then just come on over to the class. It starts at 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. I'd be glad to have you. It's absolutely free. Just comment the words infinite banking, get the link in your DM, and come on over. Okay? Be glad to have you. Now, let me teach you today about how to aim higher than you're currently aiming. Let me tell you why people have low achievement. People have low achievement because low achievement is what they're after. Most people don't know how to set a goal correctly. They don't even know how to pray correctly. Most people prayers are some little petty prayers, trying to get something, some little petty stuff, when God got so much bigger for you. If you would learn how to open up and ask God for what really matters, and then he would give you all the stuff that comes along with it. Let me prove it to you. This is in the book of First Kings, chapter 3, starting at verse number 9. And listen to how Solomon sets his goals. Give thy servant, this is Solomon talking to God. He says, give thy servant an understanding heart to judge the people, to judge thy people. He said that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this this thy so great people? Now, now listen to the wisdom inside of this prayer, and listen to all of the abundance inside of this prayer. So everybody put AP in the chat. Learn how to pray abundant prayers. Ain't nothing in this prayer about Solomon trying to get something personally. Okay? So stop praying for that stuff. All right, it's a complete waste of your time. Are you hearing me? God got much bigger for you if you get yourself out of the equation when you pray. Are you hearing me? Abundant prayers are not about you. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Not about me. Abundant prayers are not about you. Not about, don't get on your knees wasting your time with them sob stories. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Help, Lord. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. I need this. I need that. Lord. Stop wasting your time. Okay. All right. Read the Bible. And then when you make a prayer, learn how to pray like the ballers and the shot callers. Okay. Don't pray like no little country bunkin. Are you hearing me? Don't pray like some little poo butt. Don't pray like somebody who act like God went down to his last dime and all that kind of stuff. Stop praying about you and watch what starts happening to you when you start praying the way that Solomon prays. Solomon got good sense. He said, Lord, he said, give me an understanding heart so I can deal with all these people because I ain't got good sense. I don't have it. Okay. When you get on your knees, tell God, God, I ain't got good sense. Okay. I need help. I don't have good sense. All right. Okay. So when you say a prayer like that, that's a real honest prayer. And then God, he gonna give you what? Everything you got right now is what you asked for. You said, that's not true, Brother Ricky. I've been asking for a lot of stuff that came my way. That is not true. Everything you got in your life right now is what you asked for. You might have asked for it orally out of your mouth, or it's just what you're thinking about. Because most of what you get is just what you're thinking about, because most people don't pray to God no way. All right. So most of it is just what's going on in their head. So since God knows what you're thinking, he turns what's going on in your head into your prayer request. Since you won't verbalize what it is that you want to say, because God is listening all the time. And when God is listening to every human being on the face of the earth at the same time. Ain't got nobody mixed up because he's God. He awesome like that. Okay. So he can hear either your abundant prayer or he can hear either your petty prayer. He can hear them both. And he can hear them whether you say them out of your mouth or whether it's going on in your head. So everything that you got right now in your life, you prayed for it. You said, what? Yeah, you prayed for it. You get what you prayed for. And you might have said it orally, or you might have just been thinking it. Because prayers are what you're thinking about or what you're talking about, regardless of whether they come out your mouth or not, because God can hear the unspoken word. You hear what I'm saying? So if I was you, I would be purposeful when I'm talking to God about what it is that I want. And what I want, Lord, is some sense. Are you hearing me? I don't. I know I end up with some money and all that kind of stuff if I got some sense. All right, because what? This prayer ain't about me. This prayer is about us a bunch of people around me, and I need to have enough sense to be able to help the people around me. That's why you created me. You created me to be what? A blessing to the people around me. So how in the world I'm going to bless the people around me if I ain't got good sense? And when you bless me to be have a position of some type of authority or something like that, I don't know how to handle these folks. All right. I don't know how to handle these folks, Lord. I need some sense. When you pray like that, then that's a high aim. Okay. So it's the highest aim. What's the highest aim? Understanding. Understanding is the highest aim. It's the highest thing that you can aim for. So when you pray for understanding, that means that everything that comes with understanding is under the standing. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So you say, hey, but how's your life going? You're like, well, it's not going so good. I'm like, well, you must not have much of an understanding about whatever it is that you're doing. You say, yeah, but I just wish I could come up. I'm like, no, you don't have to wish you can come up. You ain't got to beg to come up. You ain't got to try to cajole people to do nothing with you. When your understanding is high, everything people chase after you. Life chases after you. Opportunities chase after you. Everything just shows up. It shows up what? It shows up in the understanding court. Everybody want to be a witness. You hear what I'm talking about? When you are high on understanding, everybody want to be a witness. Everybody shows up in your court. You hear what I'm talking about? And ready to what? Testify. And what? Because they want their understanding to come up with yours. All I would do if I was a man and a woman today, trying to come up. All I do, Brother Ricky do, is say, Lord, give me some more understanding, some more insight, so I can be able to help somebody. So that when a person comes, I already know the answer to their questions before they can even start asking. If I was you, that's what I would ask God for. Look at how good this, look how well this works out. So he said that I may discern between good and bad. Why? Because I ain't got enough sense. You all this arguing about what's good and what's bad. Most people arguing with each other because they don't even know the difference between good and bad. They don't even know the difference. So it's like a lot of opinions and all that sort of a thing. I'm like, no, you don't have to have no opinion about what's good and what's bad. All you gotta do is just know the Bible and just make it very plain. This is good and this is bad. Do this, don't do that. Get out like this, don't get out like that. All right. Let me make it even plainer to you. All right. He says, so I can learn how to judge this so great thy people. Most people, especially religious folks, and especially in this day and age, most people really got this judging thing mixed up. They like, don't judge me, don't judge this, don't judge that. I'm like, well, how are we gonna get along with one another? You like, what you mean? How are we gonna get along with one another if it ain't some type of thermometer that decides what's right? Well, how many are you gonna have a conversation and gonna get anywhere if what? If you think what's right is different what I think was right, and we ain't got nothing to measure it by. So Solomon said, give me your word so I can measure when people roll up on me, whether whatever they talking about is right or wrong. He ain't asking for no money. Are you hearing me? This prayer ain't even about money. This prayer is about, I need to know the difference between right and wrong. So what? So I can execute what's right. Because I love you, God, and I love your people. All right? God, these are your people. These are not my people. I'm not God. I don't want your position. I know that I'm short. I know my arms are too short to box with you. I know I'm too short. So I'm acknowledging to you my weaknesses. I'm acknowledging to you my inefficiency. I'm acknowledging to you my inability to be able to tell the difference between what's right and what's wrong. So I'm asking for the highest aim so I can have the most impact on everybody come around me. All right. So I can help. And Lord, I want to help, but I can't help without your help. So that's what Solomon is praying. So let's see how it worked out. He said, and the speech did what? It pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. Let me tell you something. Ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna have anything less than a spectacular life than what you asking for. It made God happy. Are you listening to me? These little poo butt prayers, Lord help me. Lord, I'm in such a bad shape. Lord, all this pitiful stuff, all this belly aching and whining and complaining and all that sort of a thing. God ain't, he don't like it. He don't like it. So he don't like that approach. He's like, why would you come to me so pitiful? You hear what I'm talking about? I got so much to offer you. Why ain't you asking me for what? For the highest offer. Are you listening to me? It's just like going up to somebody that's got 60,000, 600,000, and 600 million. And you sitting there trying to decide which one you want. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? Go for the 60 million. Why? Because if you got the 60 million, the 600,000 and the 60,000 already included. Right, here I'm talking about? Let me make sure ain't nobody. Here we go again. These tricks. Hold on, y'all. Fake stellar wealth management companies. Right on my page, right while we talking, these demons. Let me cut these tricks off. Yeah, block this trick. Just no respect, man. Well, you know what? Let me tell y'all something. If you're gonna have some influence on people, you're gonna have to deal with these demons. Okay? You have to deal with these demons trying to disrupt what you're doing. I have to stop and cut the folks off because they be sitting there talking and y'all think they me. And you know they. You ought to know better. But I know sometimes y'all don't know no better. So I'm cutting off these cats right now as we speak. Block this trick. Don't do nothing nobody come on this channel telling you to do. It's not me. Okay? To connect with this person, connect with Mrs. Downs, don't connect with none of these tricks. I don't know these folks. All right? They're just ignorant. They come on here with sometimes with my logo too. So pay attention to these pages. They got 15 followers, 20 followers. You know they're not Brother Ricky. Okay? They some busters. They'll never do nothing they're talking about. I'm gonna take my time on here and erase them so y'all don't be confused. Because some of y'all sending people money. They ain't me. And it's disgusting, but it is the way it is. By the way, everybody put down rickthewealthcoach.com. And that's the easiest way for you to remember that you know that you're dealing with Brother Ricky. They can't fake that. Okay, I only got one website. It's rickthewealthcoach.com. Go on there and read up on the things that we do if you're interested in things that we do. Okay? And classes are on there. Our affiliate program is on there. How you can start making money with us. It's all the stuff that we do. You can learn a lot. Just go to rickthewealthcoach.com. Don't be lazy. Pay attention, okay? Don't casually follow somebody. If you're going to follow somebody, follow them for real, okay? And following a person doesn't mean that you follow them down the street. It means that you start implementing the things that you learn from them. That's what following means, okay? It doesn't mean that you just nosy. It means that what? That I'm going to change my lifestyle. And I see people who live in a lifestyle that's more disciplined than mine. I want some discipline and I want some continuity and I want some regularity and I want some repetition in my life. And I need to be with somebody who already lives like that. So that's what we do. We do the same things, been doing the same things every day for years. And we could teach you how to do the same things too. All right. So here's Solomon. And this really pleased God. God really liked the fact that Solomon is asking to be the secondary beneficiary. All right. So everybody put SB in the chat. You've heard me say this a lot, but I'm teaching you in real time how this works. Solomon doesn't want to be the primary beneficiary. He wants to be the secondary beneficiary. So everybody put SB in the chat. He wants to be the secondary beneficiary. And you should too. Why? Because this is a higher aim. Hey, listen to me. You say, what are you talking about, the secondary beneficiary? If you want high, big results, you don't want to be the first beneficiary of something. Stop asking people for stuff when you meet them. Just stop it. Hey, man, you got this, you got that. Can I get this? Can I get that? No, always come to the table with how you're going to help somebody first. Stop asking people for stuff. Just stop it. It's a rude way to approach people, and it's definitely an ignorant prayer. The aim is so low. You're just aiming at the knees, aiming at the ankles. You know what I'm talking about? Might as well have an ankle bracelet on. Are you dig what I'm saying? Don't make no sense. When you meet a person, treat them the same way Solomon is treating God. God is happy with the way Solomon is treating him because he's coming to him, talking to him, and God is like, I appreciate you not wasting my time. I appreciate you getting to the point. I appreciate you asking for something worth asking for. I appreciate you asking for some understanding because I got plenty of it. All right. And I'm willing to give it out to anybody who wants it. Most people just want to ask for it. They too busy what? Asking for something for them. They don't understand that the best thing that they can get is some understanding, and then they get all this stuff. Are you hearing me? So here's Solomon. God's really happy with what he asked him. So listen to what God said to him. He said, because thou hast asked this thing, and has not asked for thyself long life, neither has asked for riches for thyself, nor has asked for the life of thine enemies, but has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. He said, behold, I have done according to all thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart. Now listen to God's language. He said, behold, I have done. See, this is what you really want to understand about God. When you ask God for the right stuff, mainly understanding. When understanding is your major focus, your highest aim, it's already done. Are you hearing me? You'll walk down the street and you'll be able to start solving problems in massive ways. Why? Because God gave you the understanding. You don't want no little regular understanding. You want to understand and straight from God, and He will give it to any man that asks, any woman that He ain't no respect of persons. Are you hear what I'm talking about? And then people will be looking at you saying, man, you are amazingly brilliant. How did you come up with those ideas? You just make sure that you let everybody know God gave me the ideas. Well, they say, well, how did you get that? I asked them. He's like, it can't be that simple. It's that simple. Everybody put TS in the chat. They say it can't be that simple, Brother Ricky. Oh, yes, it is. God would be a liar if he'd do it for Solomon and he won't do it for you. He would be a liar if he'd do it for Solomon and he won't do it for me. He'd be what? He'd be a cheater. Okay? He'd be what? He'd be a respecter of persons. But the Bible says, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not. God is no respecter of persons. In fact, he said, let love be without excuse me, be without dissimulation. He said, provide things honest in the sight of all men. All right. So what is that saying? He's saying that do people the way I do people. He said, I give everybody a shot. Are you hearing me? He said, the grace of God has appeared to all men and it teaches us a bunch of things. All right. And he said, I gave everybody a shot. Anybody want a shot? I give them a shot. And we won't take the time to ask God for no understanding, the highest aim. Okay. So anybody getting excited? I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. I'm putting IE in the chat if you're getting excited. I'm excited. I'm excited about the idea that I can ask God because he be blowing my mind every day. I'd be like, man, every day I learn something new. And every day I learn something new about how to solve a problem. So every day that when you learn something new about how to solve a problem, that means you're more impactful with people. When you become more impactful with people, then you automatically get everything that comes along with solving people's problems. Right? You know what I'm talking about? So I don't never ask for no money. I never get on my knees and say, Lord, I need some money. Because that ain't what I need. All right. What I need from you is what? Understanding Jesus. That's what I need. Okay. And if I was you, that's how I would spend my time. I would, I want the highest, I want the biggest, I want the best, I want the most what that I can get out of me. And whatever that is, I ain't got no choice but to live with it. Whatever the best is that you can get out of you, that's the best you can get. You can't get no better than the best, but you got to ask for it. You got to say, Lord, how do I get the best out of me? Give me some understanding so I can get the best out of me. I hear what I'm saying? So here it is. He said, and God said unto him, because thou hast asked for this thing, I'm really happy about what you asked for, Solomon. He said, it has not asked for thyself long life, I'm going to give it to you. Neither has asked for riches for thyself, I'm going to give it to you. Nor heart, nor has asked for the life of thine enemies, I'm going to check them marks. He said, but has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. God, like, I'm real happy with that. He said, behold, I have done according to all thy words. You already got it, brother. He said, lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart. You smart. You real smart. Why? Because I gave it to you. He says, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. So everybody put the separation in the chat. This is when you listen to what I'm teaching you today and you do what it is we're talking about today, you're about to experience a separation. So put the separation in chat. I'm just speaking of your life. You say, what do you mean a separation, Ricky? You're about to be separated from your peers and your competition because they're not going to do what you're doing. So you're about to separate yourself. They listening to this and they still ain't going to do it. I'm talking to you that's going to do what it is that you're listening to. I'm telling you what's about to happen to you. It's going to be a great separation. So if you know you're going to do what we're talking about today, go ahead and speak over your own life and put the separation in the chat and watch what happens. And I'm talking about fast too. Watch what happens. You'll look up this week just from you making this your aim. You'll look up this week and you'll say, wow, look at the progress in 1 week of my life. Look at how I am separating myself from my peers, separating myself from my so-called competition. Because the Bible says, come out from amongst them and be you what? Separate. How do you separate yourself from foolishness, chaos, and the delirium of mostly what you see going on around you? You separate yourself by understanding. Understanding is the separator. It separates you from the chaos and the foolishness that's going on around you, because most people around you ain't asking for no understanding, so they ain't getting it. So that makes you head and shoulders above your peers. Are you listening to me? So Solomon, God is so happy with Solomon. He said, I'm going to separate you. All right. He said, I'm going to separate you. You ain't going to be like these other cats. Ain't going to be able to fade you. They ain't going to be able to put cheese on a waffle. They're going to have to come to you for whatever it is they want. He said, and this is God finishing up what he said. And he said, and he said, I have also, and he said, and I also have given thee that which thou hast not asked for. He said, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. Now, most people want some money, and most people want some honor. Most people do. They act like they don't, but they do. All right. And what people be want even more than money is people want honor. You see what I mean, Brother Ricky? It's a serious human condition that we want to be acknowledged. That's a serious human condition, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. All right. Don't nobody like being walked over, played off. When you do something good and you put something out there, you want to be acknowledged. And if you say you don't, you're lying. And you're an unnecessary liar. It ain't no need in lying. Now, the problem becomes when you want to be acknowledged, but you ain't acknowledgeable. That's where the problem comes. The problem becomes when you want to be acknowledged more than you want to have impact. All right. The problem becomes when you want to be impressive, but you don't want to be impactful. That's where the problem comes. And the reason that people are not impactful, but they're trying to be impressive, is because they don't have understanding. They can't make your life better. So when a person can't make your life better, they try to make themselves look better in your eyes, but they ain't doing nothing for you to make your life better. But they want you to be impressed with them, even though your life ain't getting no better. So you say, how do you know that, Brother Ricky? Well, think about the Pharisees. The Pharisees lived a whole life trying to impress people. Excuse me. Okay. So they didn't have no juice that could really help somebody. So when people can't really help you, they try to make you feel like they more important than you, or like you need them in your life, even though this buster can't even do nothing to make your life better. Busters do that stuff all the time. They try to intimidate you by making you feel like you less than them, even though they ain't got nothing to even make your life better. They try to act, these skill sets don't even merit them all up in your Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor. Are you hearing me? But they try to put pressure on you and make you feel like they need you. But you don't really need them, because they don't really have a skill set that merits you needing them, because they haven't asked God for no understanding. They just want the stuff that understanding produces. They it's a low aim. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? It's just like somebody beating up on little Johnny at the Kool-Aid stand. And and they said, hey man, I just won my negotiation with Johnny. I'm like, you did? He said, yeah, man. I told him I wasn't paying him more than $2.50 for that Kool-Aid. I'm like, what, he accepted it? He said, yeah. I say, so you happy about winning at the Kool-Aid stand? Did you know what I'm talking about? Kool-Aid stand money. Are you hearing me? Kool-Aid stand. Are you hearing me? Everybody put KS in the chat. Some people happy. Come on, put KS in the chat. You know that. If you know anybody happy at winning at the Kool-Aid stand, just put KS in the chat. Ain't you got some friends like that? Might be you. Might be testifying about yourself. But come on, put KS in the chat and let's just all get it off our chest. Come on, I know folks who think, I know some Kool-Aid stand folks. They look like the Kool-Aid character. Hey, Kool-Aid! Kool-Aid stand. Oh, Kool-Aid stand cats. All right. And then they show up in your life and they ain't got nothing but Kool-Aid stand, Kool-Aid stand, Kool-Aid stand props. I mean, they can't really do nothing for you. Okay. So you don't want to be bragging at the Kool-Aid stand because because you won, but you still lost because the aim is so low that when you win, you still lose. You got to ask yourself, I have to ask myself, is this thing even worth aiming at? Do I even want this in my life? Do I even want to be do I even want to be associated with this? Is this even worth my time? Is this even worth my energy? Is this something God even want me to be doing? Is this somebody God even want me to be around? You dig? Should I even get down with them? Should I be putting my energy and my time, my effort, and all that sort of a thing into this? Is it even worth it? See, when you ask for understanding, the aim is so high until you start shedding what you ain't supposed to be doing and who you ain't supposed to be around. Why? Because they can't make the cut. Right, hear what I'm talking about? When you raise the standard, most people can't make the cut. And then you don't have to worry about it. Say, Ricky, I know I can do a lot better if I can just get away from these circles. You ain't got to worry about that. You raise your understanding in the circles to get away from around you. Why? Because people that are slow and don't want no understanding, they are vexed and turned off by people who what are seeking an understanding because it clashes with their little Peabody brain and they can't get out the way you get out. So they just get left in the dust just by default. Are you hearing me? So you ain't got time to be all burdened down, worried about the next person who don't want no understanding. That's their personal business. Just make sure that you do. Most people don't want understanding. They ain't looking for it. So don't think this message is for the crowd today. This is for a few of you all. I hear what I'm talking about. Only a few of you all gonna leave up out of here, get on your knees, and start asking God for some understanding. I hear what I'm talking about. Only a few of you. So I know how it is. All right. That's why when you have a company, it's called Price's Law, and it says that the way that work goes in a company is that only um, the square root of the people do 50% of the work. So in other words, if you got 10 people, 100 people in the company, what's the square root of 100? 10, right? So that means that only 10 people are going to do 50% of the work, and then the other 90 people going to do the other 50%. Why? Because only 10 of those people want understanding. That's why they're so good. That's why they get paid more than everybody else. That's why they have a higher wage than everybody else because they got a higher understanding. Because understanding is what they aiming at. They're not aiming at money. They aiming at understanding, and the money is just a byproduct of it. All right. So let me give you a few things that you can aim at before we go. And how much time we got before we get back on? Okay. And my announcement again for you all is that in a half an hour, if you want to get some understanding on infinite banking and you want to raise your level of understanding on that, I'm going to teach a free class on it. And you're welcome to come. All you got to do is just comment infinite banking here in the chat, and you get the link for absolutely free. And for 1 hour, I'm not going to be long, for 1 hour, starting at 11 o'clock Eastern, you can come on over and you can learn what infinite banking really is, how I was able to help produce $1 million tax return for my number one client, and how anything can happen the same, how that you can do the same thing, but you need to understand it. Okay. So if you put infinite banking in the chat, then you can come on over and get an understanding for free. You got to pay us no money. Starts at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern as soon as I'm done with this live today. Okay. Be glad to have you if you decide you want to come on by. All right. So here's some understanding. Here's some things about the highest aim, and that's what understanding produces. All right. So A, understanding is a producer. B, understanding is a reproducer. High understanding, it doesn't just produce, it produces and it reproduces. That's why a high understanding is something that you can pass on from generations to generations. When you get a high understanding of things, it has generational qualities. Okay. Let me give you a couple examples. I just want to give you two examples real quick. The first example, let's talk about a good marriage. So you're a man that wants a woman. So you're like, yeah, I want a woman. I want to get married. Okay, that's good because marriage is honorable and all the bed is undefiled. Whoremongers and adulterers, God going to judge. So good, you want to be married. That's a good thing for a man. He want to be married. All right, it's a good thing. He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. So that's a good thing. That's a great goal to have. All right. Now the question becomes, how do you obtain the highest level of that? Okay, so you say, okay, so the understanding I want is I want to understand as a man, how can I attract the top woman? Okay. So how do I attract? So what you're supposed to do as a man? The first thing is I want to have an understanding of what a dowry is. I'm not married yet. You ain't married yet. You want to get married. So You say, what's a dowry? Dowry. A dowry is what you pay for a woman before you marry the woman. It's what you pay to the father of the woman before you marry the woman. He said, I ain't never heard of a dowry, Ricky. That's why, because you haven't asked for understanding. If you had asked for understanding, you would know what a dowry is because you'd be reading the Bible. And the Bible would tell you what a dowry is, Dowry, and why that's the first thing you're supposed to do before you marry a woman. It sets the whole atmosphere up correctly because it's going to attract the woman who appreciates a man who even pursues a dowry. You say, what's a dowry? Well, when Saul was trying to get David killed because Saul was jealous of David, he told David, if you go out and get me 100 foreskins of the Philistines, I'll let you marry my daughter. David was like, that's called a dowry. All right. You pay the father before you marry his daughter. That's how this thing goes. All right. You say, I ain't never heard of it, Brother Ricky. Well, you read 1 Samuel for yourself. Okay. You read it and you get an understanding. Okay. So here's David. David said, man, 100 foreskins to marry your daughter? He said, that ain't nothing. He said, I'll raise you 100 foreskins. I'll bring you back 200 foreskins of the Philistines. You say, what are foreskins? I'm going to cut the foreskin off of the penises of these Philistines and bring them back to pay for your daughter. And in other words, I'm going to go do some show enough gangster stuff to marry your daughter. All right. Because your daughter's worth it. And I'll be a part of your kingdom. And I'm not just going to come up in here without nothing to prove my manhood before I come. He said, so that's what I'm about to do. And so I raised you 200. And he went out and he killed 200 Philistines and brought back their foreskins. That's called a dowry. Okay. So when you ask for understanding, so if you want to attract the sister that you want, then the idea of a man is first, give me the thing that produces the thing. Because when you got a dowry, now you got a whole lot of selections of who it is that you want to marry, because your whole attitude towards getting married in the first place is, I'm a responsible man. I don't want to marry no woman. I ain't even got no money. All right. And so I'm not going to even approach her like that, because what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go get some money first. So that means that what? Now I got to focus on what? Providing. And then I got to focus on what? Leadership. Because these are the things that I bring to the table as the man. I'm a man, so I can't come into this relationship as nothing but the head of it, because I'm a man. All right. This is my job as a husband, my responsibility as a husband, my privilege as a husband. Lord, give me understanding on how to create a dowry. Well, how do I run a business? What should I be doing, Lord, so that I can already have some money, so that I don't have to be sitting over here when the sister come in, she ain't got to work at all. You say, Brother Ricky, you just old fashioned. No, I'm just teaching you understanding, because it don't never change. The Bible don't never change. I don't care. Listen to me, especially you young folks, listen to me. You just got on this earth 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Don't act brand new. Okay. Don't act like you got better ideas than God. All right. You don't. Okay. Your ideas pale in comparison to God. He's extremely wise. Okay. And the way he sets stuff up is because the results are amazing. The results ain't just productive, they are reproductive. All right. So you got a sister. She want to get married to a brother. All right. So she needs to get an understanding on what? Obedience. She needs to get an understanding on that before she get married to a dude. You say, why? Because obedience is the number one commandment of a woman to a man. Right. The Bible say, wives, obey your husbands. You said, I ain't about to obey no man, Brother Ricky. You tripping now. Can you get back on that money? See, I ain't talking to you, Jezebel. You can hang up right now. All right. I'm talking to you godly women. I'm talking about who what? Trying to get some understanding. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Why? So that you can be in a relationship and it can have the best possible, highest results possible, because you're trying to get an understanding before you even marry the brother on what you're supposed to be doing for a brother. Because you want to be the secondary beneficiary. You don't want to be the primary beneficiary. You ain't going to a relationship for what somebody can do for you. You go into a relationship for what you can do for the person. And then what's supposed to happen for you automatically happens. That's how. But if you don't have no understanding, and understanding ain't what you're looking for, then you go into a relationship actually believing that this brother's supposed to be what? He's supposed to be doing what you said. You're supposed to be leading him around, and you're supposed to be his leader, or co-leaders, or whatever, all this foolishness y'all got going on today, and all this nonsense that what lowers and dumbs down the word of God, which makes people have amazingly confusing relationships. Why? Because it ain't no defined roles. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? And ain't nobody got no sense of judgment. That's what understanding is, a sense of judgment. Okay. So you arguing and stuff about a lot of stuff because you don't have no understanding. Where there's no understanding, there's evil, confusion, strife, every evil work. Why? Because people don't understand their roles. I hear what I'm talking about. So you got a sister, you want to get married. The first thing you ought to be working on is, how do I get an understanding of obedience? He said, I ain't nobody even told me I'm supposed to be obedient, Brother Ricky. That's your fault. You, what, Ephesians chapter 5 is in your Bible. Are you hearing me? Ain't nobody got to tell you that. God told you that. If you got the Spirit of God inside of you, He tells you what's right and what's wrong. You ain't got to, and then you go read it so that you can what? So that you can do it. You say, I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like this stuff, Brother Ricky. Change the subject now. Get on something. Well, you ain't going to hear this at your church. You know you ain't gonna hear this at your church. Why? Because your little hand-pecked preacher and little poo-butt preachers are not gonna tell you what I'm telling you today. Why? 80% of their church is full of women. Are you hearing me? They ain't about to tell no woman to obey their husband. They ain't gonna even say it if they marry you. They ain't gonna even put it in the marriage vows. Why? Because they don't have no understanding, because they some little punks. Are you hearing me? When you get an understanding of the Bible, you ain't afraid of nobody. You don't care what nobody think. You don't care how they feel about it. Don't make you no never mind. What? Why? Because you ain't trying to impress nobody. You ain't no Pharisee. I ain't hear what I'm talking about. You're not a Pharisee. What you do is you tell people what's right so they can get all this delirium and witchcraft out of their life so they can have a good life. Are you hearing me? The Bible is real plain and simple. It ain't no big deal. Husband, love your wife. All right. So you got to learn how to do that. You got to learn how to love your wife. Wife, be lovable. Okay. Help the man to be able to love you. Be submissive and obedient to your husband, not to somebody else. All right. You don't tell him what to do. He don't want to call the shots. You say, I don't like that, Brother Ricky. He don't call no shots around here. That's because you got a low understanding. When you got a low understanding, everything that the Bible say make you feel like you just hit your head against a wall. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? You don't like it. You don't appreciate it. You don't appreciate an understanding. You don't appreciate a great, phenomenal, incredible life that's better than any life that you can possibly live, because God ain't stupid. God don't give out no instructions, and the instruction gonna ruin your life. God don't give out no instructions and it's gonna belittle you. He don't give out no instructions and it's gonna make a fool out of you. He don't give out no instructions. You're gonna be worse off than you were before you started following the instructions. That ain't how this go. When God give you an instruction, He's just giving you some understanding about what make the most sense for you to do. I ain't hear what I'm talking about. So you got a sister, you want a husband, you should be working on obedience. Should be working on what? Chastity. You know? Why? Because a man loves what? Loves a chaste, clean woman. You should be like, man, what really moves this brother? Chastity does. I mean, what are you talking about? Cleanness. Cleanness in your conversation, cleanness in your presentation. Man, we men. We don't want to see no hard butch type chick in the crib when we come home. You hear what I'm talking about? When the door opens up, we want to smell the scent of a woman. Are you hearing me? Chastity. Are you doing what I'm talking about? Careful with the word selection. Are you hearing me? How you doing tonight, baby, honey, and daddy really work. You say, I'll never call a man daddy. You'll never call a man daddy because you don't understand chastity. Are you hearing me? You thinking that if you say some stuff, I'm talking to my sisters now, you thinking that if you say something like that you some type of retard, or like you slow, or like you weak, or like you gullible, or like you naive and all that. No, you're a very wise woman with a high level of understanding, because you know how to do what? You know how to stroke your man's ego. Are you hearing me? Because of your husband. All right. You don't want nobody else stroking his ego. Why in the world would you let your husband leave a crib, leave out your house, my sister, you beautiful Nubian queen, and then allow this man to leave out your crib and another woman talk nicer to him than you do? Because he wants to hear it. Oh yeah, he definitely want to hear it. He want to be stroked. All right, he's a man. He wants to be stroked. He wants to be acknowledged. He wants somebody to tell him, man, don't nobody work it the way you work it, baby. You got it going on to the break of dawn. Are you hearing me? I wish it was. I wish it was 10 more of you around here so I could serve all 10 of you. That's how you talk to a man. Are you hearing me? And then the man is like, what? He's like, wow. I didn't know you. Why you break them down like a fraction? I hear what I'm talking about because those words mean so much. Because a brother, he's an emotional cat. You don't think the man's emotional because you're a woman. You just think you emotional. So you be telling him all the time what your emotions about, like he ain't got none. He got emotions just like you do. His job is to provide for you. His job is to be a leader for you. His job is to lay his life down for you. His job is to make sure that you don't even have to work unless y'all both decide that you even want to work. That's his job. His job is to be on the front line and to make sure if anything happened, it happened to him before it happens to you. So give him something worth protecting. Give him somebody to protect. Are you hearing me? It's hard for him to protect you and then have to protect himself from you. All right, listen to me, ladies. I'm talking to you, ladies. It's hard for a man to protect you and then have to protect himself from you at the same time. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's exhausting. Are you hearing me? That's why brothers are dropping dead. That's why they got high blood pressure. That's why they don't live to be six, especially black men don't hardly live to be past 60 years old. Are you listening to me? Why? Because they in the house having a fight in the house with their wife because the woman is not chaste. You say, no, that's just his problem. He got his own problems. I'm telling you, you got a lot of influence on your husband. I hear him. You got a lot of influence on your man, Queen. Are you digging what I'm talking about? And you just need to be around people who encourage you to get at brother what it is that he needs because he can't get it from nobody else. So get him what it is that he do not ignore him. Pay attention to what he tells you and give it to him what it is that he needs and give it to him the way he wants it, not the way you want to give it to him because you're supposed to be the secondary beneficiary, not the primary one. You say, well, I don't like what he wants. It don't matter what you like. All right. You married the brother. That means that what? You gave him the right to give you some orders. You say, ain't nobody ordering me around, but that's what you signed up for. You signed up for what? To be a wife, not to be a husband. Are you hearing me? So you signed up to follow instructions. You say, I don't want to follow no instructions from him. Well, don't get married. All right. My mother told me, and she said, listen, she said, I ain't marrying nobody, Ricky, because ain't no man telling me what to do. I say, well, at least you're honest. This is after she was around 55 and my daddy didn't work out. My fake stepdaddy didn't work out and all that didn't work out for mama. So, but she was honest enough. She said, but if I was married, I would submit myself to my husband. She said, if I was, you know, and then if she ever seen me talking to a woman or something, if she saw some woman who didn't want to submit herself to me, she said, leave her alone. Don't talk to her. Okay. She don't deserve you. This is my mother. My mother she helped me have a lot of self-esteem, with the way she would talk to me. She said, you're a good man. If you're gonna be with a woman, she need to measure up because you're a very aggressive, good dude. You got a good mind. She just would make me feel the way a woman should talk to me. My mother talked to me like that. All right. She would talk to a man the way a woman should talk to a man. And it really helped me because it made me not take no mess off no woman. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not that cat. All right. I'm not the one you're gonna roll up on with all your personal issues and all that sort of thing. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to help you all because your aim is too low and y'all just accept mediocre lives. Why? Because you're not aiming for understanding. When you aim for understanding, then you get all of what comes with the understanding and it's all up under the understanding. Are you hear what I'm saying? So ladies, just consider what I'm telling you and the Lord give you understanding. All right. So one more thing about my sisters. Men really love virtue. All right. You say what you mean by virtue. Men really love the idea of seeing a person who has the same attitude more than 2 days in a row. It's extremely attractive to us. And if I was a sister, I'd be going after I would not be trying to go after a man. I'd be going after virtue. And then the man who appreciates virtue, that's the man who will show up in your life because the way we are, that's the people that show up around us. Are you hearing me? So let's make sure that we focus on the understanding, the higher thing, and then the thing that we want will show up as a result of it. You don't focus on a man, you don't focus on a woman, you focus on the role of a man and you focus on the role of a woman, and then the woman or the man that measures up to that role will be the people that end up coming into your life. Because everybody that's in your life right now is based on everybody that's in your life right now is based on either who you prayed for verbally or who you've been thinking of. But if you've been thinking of you all the time and what you want, and I'm not saying you're not supposed to get what you want, but I'm talking about the way that you get what you want is to be the person who deserves what you want. I hear what I'm saying? And then demand what you want. All right. I hear what I'm talking about? Because you deserve it. I hear me. So those are two things. But these things, when a man and woman do this, seek understanding first. Then now it becomes, that's productive. But then it becomes reproductive. You say, why? Because now you got a man and a woman together. Both of them got a high understanding. Now you can produce a kid that has high understanding. And that's generational. That's what generational wealth is. Generational wealth is not merely money. Generational wealth is generational understanding of what? How a family works. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So a man and a woman, when you want to have a child, you don't aim at having a child. You aim at the egg that produces the child. Did you hear what I said? I said, a man and a woman that's producing a child, you don't aim at the child. You aim at the egg that produces the child. And once the sperm hits the egg, the child has to be produced. That's the way understanding is. When you aim at understanding, the thing that the understanding produces is already happened. It's inevitable. That's why when Solomon asked God for understanding, he said, I already gave it to you. All right. That baby already been born. All right. That birth is already, that creativity, that thing is already done. Are you hear what I'm talking about? I remember I was at church in my younger days, having child after child. And one brother got up who was having a hard time having kids. So he got up and said, hey, y'all, pray for me and my wife because I just can't, it don't seem like we can have no babies. So I don't know. I didn't want nobody to get them mixed up with me because we was having babies like left and right. So I got up and I said, make sure y'all don't get them prayers mixed up. Somebody put HL in the chat. Help, Lord. Well, I was having babies. So I was like, don't y'all be thinking that was Brother Ricky talking. I want another 100 kids. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody put HL in the chat. Some of y'all know y'all having kids so fast right now. You need to ask the Lord to help you. Help, Lord. Help some of y'all. Some of y'all know. Some of y'all know it just blowing you. There go another little Johnny. There go another little Sarah. Somebody put in the chat, help, Lord. Some of y'all so doggone fertile. God bless you. God bless you, ministry. I told my first wife, I was like, girl, I said, you know what? If we were slaves, boy, we'd have been breeders. Like, hear me? All these kids, having these kids so fast. So reproduction, productivity is one thing. Reproductivity is another thing. A high level of understanding creates an amazing amount of reproductivity. Now let's get into the business world. In the business world, the reason that people do business with you is because your high understanding helps them to teach somebody else what you taught them. That's why they come to you. All right. Your high understanding is not just productive, it's reproductive. So a person comes to you. That's why Solomon, King Solomon, that's why here we go again. Let's make sure. Okay, cool. All right. Just trying to make sure nobody on there trying to solicit nobody. All right. So this is why King Solomon had such an amazing impact, but his wife is so rich too. All right. He had such an amazing impact because his understanding was so good until you could come to him and get an understanding and then go back and give somebody else the understanding that you got from him. So it wasn't just productive, it was reproductive. That's why I was teaching you all yesterday, I believe it was. That's why I was teaching you all about the Queen of Sheba and how she came to Solomon. Not just the Queen of Sheba, all the kings of the earth came to Solomon. Why? Because he was smarter than all of them. So they all came to Solomon. For what? For understanding. Why? So they go back to the people that they had and teach them. Just like some of you all that's listening right now. If you take this video and you record it, and then you take it to your colleagues that you're doing business with, family members and what have you, and you say, listen, you need to sit down and listen to this video about understanding and about aiming high so that we can start practicing this stuff in our company. All right. Then what happened is that the people in your company start doing things that they weren't doing before because they did not have the understanding. They didn't understand understanding's protocol. And so now you'll be able to make a whole lot more money. That's why people pay me $50,000 an hour to have an appointment with me. Right? Why? Because the understanding that they're going to get, they'll go make $500,000 or whatever. They're going to make way more money than they paid me. And I really don't even care for a whole lot of personal appointments. That's why I teach you all a lot for free so that you can just come and learn the different things that we do. And then can just join our group coaching programs unless you want to pay premium money for premium advice. Okay? Because what? The labor is worth their air. And I don't charge people what I'm worth. I charge people what they're worth. I don't pay people what they worth. I pay people what I'm worth so they can give me what I deserve. And I charge people what they worth so I can give them what they deserve. So if you ever came to me and you had to talk to Brother Ricky for an hour, you have to pay me $50,000. You say, Brother Ricky, man, you sure worth a lot. I'm worth way more than $50,000. All right. You're not paying me what I'm worth. You're paying me what you worth. So if you pay $50,000, it's because you worth it, because you got something that you're going to turn that $50,000 into, and it's going to be higher than the $50,000 that you paid. That's how you view things when you go out into the market in the business world and you're dealing with people. You charge people what they are worth so you can give them what they deserve, because you are worth much more than what the person is paying you. They ain't doing nothing but tipping you if you have a high level of understanding. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? I think everybody put HL in the chat. As you leave here today, I want you to consider this one thing as you leave here today. I want you to consider this, and that's that, Lord, I'm about to start going after a high level of understanding. It's going to be my main focus for the rest of my life. It's a simple thing to focus on, and it's going to help me raise the bar with everything it is that I'm doing so that I can have some serious impact on the people that come around me. And eventually, it's going to end up making me a very wealthy person because the money comes along with it. I will not ask you for any money for the rest of my life again, Lord. I'm not going to get on my knees and make no more of these little petty prayers. Lord, all I want is a better understanding of how to help people so they can help people. And then if I can help somebody, then I have a consortium of customers lined up on a regular basis that want to do business with me, not just me, but my kids' kids, because I got to teach them the same wisdom. And as long as everybody else got the same idea, then it won't stop in my generation, because I'm not here for my generation. I'm here for 3 generations minimum. I'm here for 3 generations because that's what you told me. You gave me that understanding in Proverbs 13 and 22 when you told me that that the wealth of the son is laid up for the just, and a good man leaves a heritage to his children's children. So you taught me that in Proverbs 13 and 22. I have an understanding of that. So since I understand that, I'm not going to be making moves for me. I'm making moves to make sure the 3 generations are taken care of, which means I'm going to have to spend a good portion of my time teaching the generations that I'm raising. Why? Because that's the whole point of doing what it is that we're doing. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? All right. So if you're ready for some better understanding, we're about to move on over, and you're welcome to come over and get a high level of understanding on how to be an infinite banker. All right. If you're interested in that, put infinite banking in the chat, and you come and spend one more hour with me today for free. You don't have to pay me. You don't have to pay me any money. Not no $50,000. Not no. You don't have to pay anything. You can come on over here, and I'll even entertain a couple of questions in the class too. And you don't have to pay me to ask these questions in the class. This is your opportunity to get a chance to meet Brother Ricky, see what it is that we do. You know you're talking to us. It's gonna be live, and because you all be asking like, who am I talking to? I'm confused. I don't know I don't know who you are, brother. I don't know who these people are that be sending me messages. Well, none of these people can have a live meeting with you and help you because they crooks. But you can come over here and have a live meeting with me, and you don't have to pay me any money. All right. So it's going to start right now in about 5 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes rather, at 11 o'clock, and just put infinite banking in the chat, and I'm gonna give you a few seconds to do that before we go. All right. I love you all. And for the rest of you all who don't have time to come over today, or you got something else to do, you enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. But I just want you to know that I can feel in the atmosphere that some of you all are about to start having a completely different approach towards the way that you do things. And I believe you're going to be extremely, extremely successful behind what you're doing, because you cannot practice the understanding of God and things don't work out way better than they're currently working out. It's impossible. All right. So be blessed in the city, be blessed in the field. I love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And remember that stellar is as stellar does. All right. I'll see some of you all in class very shortly. The rest of you have an outstanding day. Okay. Be blessed. Be blessed and get you some better understanding today. Okay. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Aim high, you all. Aim high. Go for it.